Hey everybody, Jonah from Britical Saiyans here, and today we are going through the red baby deck profile for God knows how many times now. Not as many as Goku Black, I imagine, but meh, here we go. So, for anyone who's not aware of this leader, you might be new to the game or you're just not bothered, it's pretty powerful. So, its auto on this side is when it attacks the leader, you draw a card. And then its active main is once per turn, you can take a card from your life out to your hand, and then choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards and it loses 5k for the duration of the turn. So ideally you just pop something really weak, and then when your life's at 4, you can untap 2 NG and flip him over into this side. So we have same power, Vegeta baby. So this time its auto is just when it attacks you draw, instead of it just being attacking a leader. But having draw power on both sides is really good, so can't knock it. And its active main is you choose one of your battle cards that loses 15k for the turn. If you do, you choose up to 2 of your opponent's battle cards and they lose 10k power for the turn. So you're minus 1 of your own things, but you can hit 2 of your opponent's cards. So it's worth it because the entire deck kind of revolves around minusing and killing your opponent's battle cards off. So. And now it's a dirty combo deck, which I don't mind saying. It is a dirty combo deck because that's basically where the deck's going now. So, start with the extra cards. We have 3 copies of 4-star ball. So, it's a Dragon Ball, and its active battle is that you can choose up to one of your battle or lead cards. It gains 5k power for duration of the battle. And then if it's a skillless card, it gains another 5k on top of that. But there's no skillless cards in here, so it's just a free 5k combo. It is an extra card, but whatever. It gives power, so just as good. Next, we have a singular copy of Strategies of Universe 7. So its active main is you choose all red Saiyan cards in your battle area, and you gain barrier until the end of your opponent's next turn. So it's just a way to protect your guys, which is helpful because you're basically just playing a red Saiyan deck and a dirty red Saiyan deck at that, so you kind of need this protection for them. I only run 1 because it's like most of the time you're just killing stuff, so nothing can really hurt them. And then we've got a singular copy of Vow Revenge. This is my own personal tech because I just really like the card. So again, it costs 0, and then if your leader is a red machine mutant, which this guy is, you choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards and it gets minus 15k for the turn. So you can kind of just pop something or like half a card's power. Like, it's a really devastating amount to lose on anything, so it's just kind of good as a one-off in case you need to weaken something. You just be like, you, minus 15 to you, pal. So, going to the 1-cost ones, we have a singular copy of Gallic Cannon. So, it's a counterplay in which the battle card when the battle card is played, you choose up to one of those battle cards and it gets minus 15k for the duration of turn. So, something that comes to play, you can minus by 15. It can kill, but the autos would still go off, because it still hits the ball. It doesn't stop it from reaching the ball, it just minuses its power when it hits the board. So if your opponent's got an auto, it's like when you play this card, it still goes off and then it dies afterwards because of Gallic Cannon just being like, no, screw you. So keep that in mind. For negates, we have 3 copies of Is That All You've Got? And 2 copies of Unending Awakening. So, Unending Awakening, you negate the attack, and then you choose one of your red Saiyan leader cards and it gains 5k for the turn. Again, it's a Saiyan and a machine mutant, so we're fine. And Is That All You've Got? It's, if your leader's red, you negate the attack, and then you can choose a red card from your hand and discard it. If you do, you can choose up to 2 of your opponent's battle cards and they get minus 15 for the turn. So again, more minusing, which is helpful. You could kill something that's going to attack you or that is attacking you if it's weak enough. and you can just filter out cards you don't need in your hand. So it's kind of why I don't run after image, because after image isn't in the gate. Your opponent can combo up to the power. It's just a lot, and like taking card from life is okay, but a lot of time you kind of put yourself down to 3 or 4 to get going. So you've got to keep hold of what life you have, because your opponent could start making a comeback. If you're like, oh well, I can pay my life or whatever, it doesn't matter. Then you're in trouble. Next, I got a single copy of Denial of Hope. So this is a counterplay. If your leader's red and if your opponent's playing a battle card that has 20k or less power, you place it in the drop area instead of coming out to play. So it's just an hit to kill something. Matt, you've unpowered my light.
Oh.
There we go. I was wondering what you're doing. It's like, my light is gone. Matt! What have you done? So yeah, Denial of Hope is just a straight up kill it immediately. No autos, no nothing. So, and finally in the extra cards we've got 3 copies of Familial Bonds, which is kind of what makes this a dirt combo. So, it gains desire. Doesn't matter about that part. The active main is, if your leader card is red, you choose up to 1 red Saiyan card in your drop area with an energy cost of 3 or less and 15k or less power and play it. Then if you played a card, you can get up to 2 Dragon Ball cards from your deck and add them to your hand, then obviously shuffle the deck. So I run this at 3 because you kind of want to see it the moment you hit 2 energy, you want to be playing that out. Because yeah, it's part of the combo, and that's why we have these in, because you can just search them out, and they're the only ones you can really use in any deck, because the other Dragon Balls, besides the promotion ones, which I don't actually have, the other ones are like if your leader's shown on draw card, so it's like, well, those are useless. Whereas 4-star Dragon Ball is useful. So yeah. Going into the battle cards now. For the 1-drops we have 4 copies of, I gotta keep this in short, Baby Vengeance Unleashed. So 1 cost, 1k power, and then its Union Absorb is you choose a battle card and place it under this. So you choose one in your battle area, obviously. If your leader is a red machine mutant, you choose up to 1 baby with an edge cost of 4 or less and the same character name as the one you placed under it, and play it on top and then shuffle your deck. So I will keep that side, keep one of those sides to show you what it goes into, and try not to have a voice crack in between those times. So next, for the 1-drops, we have 4 copies of Dr. Mew under Baby's control. So it's just when you play it, you look at the top 3 for a machine. You can add up to 1 machine mutant or a card who includes Baby in its name to your hand and shuffle your deck. Every card that includes Baby in its name is a machine mutant. There's nothing that's come out that's Baby that isn't machine mutant, so that is kind of pointless. Saying you can add a Baby, because Baby's machine mutant all the bloody time. Even when he's even when he's inside Vegeta, he's machine mutant. So you add a machine mutant. Oh, Baby, whatever. That's all you're going to be adding in this deck, really. So going into the 2-drops now, we have 3 copies of Daily Training Vegeta. So this is just when you play it, you draw a card, but obviously it's one of our targets for this and for Familial Bonds. So that might be, put that there. Yeah, really run 3 because like you intend to play 1 out, really. So it's just about seeing it. And then we got 4 copies of Handy Giru as a super combo. So when you combo with it, if your life is at 4 or less and leader's red, you draw a card and it gains 10k combo power. I know a lot of the time this deck runs the new ones like Bulma or Goten, whichever red one is 4 or less life. Might run the sparking one, but I'm keeping to this just because I have Dr. Mew, which means if I can't find a baby, I can at least add a super combo. So, and because they activate on 4 less life as well to draw a card, doesn't make much of a difference. It's just whether you want the free 10k or not, and I ain't fussed. I usually hit the requirement fast enough, so it's fine. Next we've got a 3-drop, so we've got 2 copies of Digging Deep Vegeta. So he has the auto once per turn. When this card attacks, you may choose up to 2 cards from your life and to your hand. If you choose to add 1 or more cards, so if you add at least 1, you can switch them to active and he gains 5k for the turn. So obviously you can go swing, take a life, stand it back up on 20k, and then he's a target for familial bonds and whatever else. I only run him at 2 because you tend to only play out the 1, so, and like, if you thin the deck out enough you'll be fine, or you're just modding it into it really. And then for another personal tech, I've got 2 copies of Super Saiyan 3 Goku One Hit Wonder. So its auto is when your opponent's battle card is decreased, if you don't have one in play, you can play one out from your hand. So long as something gets minused, you can play him out. And then his active battle is you can pay a red, you send this guy from your drop to your warp, and then you choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards, and it gets minus 5k for the duration of the turn. So ideally, you combo 1, put it in the drop, you then use it when your opponent's attacking, and play a second one out from hand. Or as I tend to do, I just throw them as combo pieces and then use their skill in the drop. So it's just a nice little free body engine / minusing engine during your opponent's battle. So you could be attacking something or they could be attacking you and you can just set one of these off on them. So I just thought it was useful for the deck, so I put it in. So next we've got our 4-drops, and we've got 4 copies of Saiyan Strength Baby. So he's got 20k in double strike, and then when you play this card, if you lead a red machine mutant, you draw a card and then you choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards and it gets minus 20k for a duration of turn. So this little 1-drop here takes a Vegeta of some sort and plays this guy out. So that's why we have him at 4, because you can't need him in the deck. I know some decks do run it at 3 just because it's more likely to be in the deck, but I have 4 because I'm also accounting for my terrible luck, where I would have 3, I'd draw 1, and the other 2 would be in the life, and like, well, there goes that combo. Next in the 4-drops we have 2 copies of Topo Righteous Aid. So he's got counter attack. You can choose one other card in your hand and place it in the drop, then negate the attack and play him on the field. Which does seem hefty because it's 4, but it's permanent. Is during your opponent's turn you reduce the cost of him in your hand by 2, so it becomes a 2 cost instead, and then you play him out, discard 1, and he comes into play and negates the attack. And then his auto is if it's your opponent's turn, when you play this card, for the duration of the turn, your opponent cannot attack unless they choose 2 cards from their hand and place them in the drop each time. So it's worth paying 2 and pitching a card, because whatever the first attack is, no matter what, if it's a leader, a battle card, just you go right, negate, ditch a card, Topo's in play. So if you want to attack me, you got to dump 2. Like they have to, they can't be like, oh, I've got no hand, I can carry on. Or like, oh, I've got 1. Has to be 2. And as far as I know. And then yeah, you just have a 20k beat stick during your turn after you stop them from doing multiple attacks. And all you have to do is ditch card and pay 2. Oh no! So for the 5-drops we have our 4 copies of Super Baby 1 Parasitic Menace. So it's EX Evolve, you play it on top of a red baby with an energy cost of 4. This guy, he has double strike just like his counterpart. He's got 25k though, so it's a tiny bit stronger. And then his auto is when the card evolves into this, you draw a card and choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards. It gets minus 5k for duration of turn, and then you can't play a second one during that turn. So you can only play them once per turn, but it's worth it, and you intend to do one at a time. And then his active main is you can pay a red to choose a 6 cost baby and play it on top of this guy. So, which I am about to show you. So our 6 drop, we have 4 copies of Epochal Grudge Great Ape Baby. So he's got 30k in triple strike. He can evolve for 4 energy, 2 of it being red on top of anything with baby in its name, but that's kind of a desperate measure move. And then his auto is once per turn, when this attacks or your opponent plays a battle card, if your leader is a machine mutant, you draw 1, then choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, and it loses 20k power for a duration of turn. So if they've got nothing on board, the first thing they play dies and you draw a card. Just straight up like, bye. Which is kind of disgusting. And of course, when you attack with him, you can do the same again. You just play, oh, triple strike, draw a card, so here's the combo. What kind of makes this deck dirty is that it's a lot quicker to do and kind of better to do now. Because on your first, like ideally, you start with, say, boom, 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 boom in your hand, and just something you can charge. And then you're just like, right, well, turn 1, I charge, I play this. At some point during your turn, if you're attacking first, or if your opponent's attacking first, you combo one of these guys, or daily training. Ideally this. So you would combo that off, and then during the next turn, you pay the 2, you get familiar bonds. To bring this back out, you get your 2 Dragon Balls. That goes. You swing with that, you untap it, swing again. Then this gets eaten up. You play the 4 drop. 4 drop does its thing. You play the 5 drop. 5 drop does its thing. If you have any way of untapping energy, whether it's like you awaken or you do this on free energy, you then pay 1 and get that out. And that is just like 1 turn you can do all that. So you do kind of have to hard mulligan into this combo, but once you get off and you just sat there with your 6 drop, it's hard for your opponent to recover. And it's what kind of makes the deck dirty. Like, I'm not happy about how dirty it is, but at the same time, I'd kind of be a fool not to do this, so I've done it.
Well, you're a fool.
Yeah, well, I am pretty good at clown, but... And then finally in the deck we got 2 copies of the 8 drop Baby Vengeful Blow. So he has 20k power. It has Union Absorb, so you take 1 Vegeta GT in your drop out and place under this card. So for example, you take this guy, place it under. Then you may choose 1 baby in your hand with 30k power as this guy and play it on top. So if you lose one of these, its way of getting it back. You can only have 1 in play, that's permanent, but its auto is what kind of gives you the comeback. So when a baby with an original power of 30k, less 1, from your battle area is removed by your opponent's skill or is KO'd, you can play this from hand. So you don't need to pay 8 energy for it. You just have this guy going about his day, he gets killed, you go slap, okay, this guy's just got to survive a turn, place said target underneath, play a new one from hand. Yay, you're back on it. So, and I only run the 2 because, well, deck space, and it is just a recovery tool. I've not had to use it much, which is nice, but it's good to have just in case. So if you do lose one of your babies, you can just be like, well, I'll play this out, and then next turn I'm going to get a new one. So, unless you kill this thing, we're going back to square 1.
And it depends on the matchup, you could side a third if you got 1 on the side.
Yeah, you can always side more, or just add more to the deck initially, but I haven't bothered. 2 seems to do me fine, I only have to play it once. Mostly just to screw with people. because it's like, oh no, my poor baby. Here we go. So, Ash, if you're watching, sorry about that. I did do that to you. You know, the pain. So yeah, that is my Vegeta baby deck profile. So yeah, as always, leave your thoughts in the comments. They're fun to read and they're great to respond to if we can. And yeah, thank you for watching. Bye.